Hey, open up the curtain. Oh my, it's showtime.
You see, someday, someone will break you so bad that you will become unbreakable.
That's real talk now. That's real talk, brother. Talking real with Phil.
I'm gonna try to get home by 6. I'm gonna stop by a brokerage firm after work.
For what?
I'll see about a job there.
What job?
Stockbroker.
Stockbroker.
Yeah.
Not an astronaut?
Don't talk to me like that right now.
Jimmy, you can't work.
May, I can still work.
Jimmy, you can't work. Your hand's broken.
See me lugging this around, you're right, they won't pick me. Not down the docks, not anywhere. So we're gonna cover it up with the shoe polish. I'm sorry.
No. No.
Well, okay, people. Welcome back to the channel. This is going to be the third installment of Talking Real with Phil. And this is the first video I've done in a month. I've had a lot of things going on. My glasses broke. It's very hard for me to do any editing without glasses. I had to wait 3 weeks to get some more glasses. I try to be as honest as I can with you guys in these videos. That's why they're called Talking Real with Phil. Growing up, I had a lot of friends, but only 2 of my friends had fathers in their house. So that's to say that a majority of me and my friends didn't have fathers in the household growing up. My father had passed away 2 years ago, a year after I had my accident. And of course, I couldn't go to the funeral. I couldn't say my goodbyes. That still weighs on me quite a bit because that man saved my life. I wish he had been a bigger part of my adolescent life. Maybe it's because I was a dick and didn't let him. Whatever the case was, I wish he would have been a bigger part of my adolescent life, for the simple fact that I don't feel like, raised by a single mother, as a man, that I really grasped the concept of being a man until I got out in the real world and got married, had a family of my own. And by that time, I was trying to figure it out along the way. And nobody has answers. Nobody has a instruction booklet. Each person's different. Each family's different. Each situation's different. Me and my wife's been married 23 years now. We were married 20 years when I had the accident, and I had to more or less be separated because I couldn't work and couldn't provide. My perspective on life has changed completely. In the last 3 years, when you spend 3 years, 20 plus hours a day in a bed, well, damn, that's a lot of time to think, isn't it? I wanted to make this video and to kind of share my opinion on fatherhood and where I went wrong in my marriage. But for the longest time, being an addict, you say, well, yeah, that's where you fucked up at. And that's what caused the downfall of your marriage. And it is. It's one of the contributing factors to that source. I had always thought communication was the reason my marriage failed on my wife's end. My wife's not like most women, and that's why I loved her. I guarantee you I can count on my hands 9 times in 23 years I've seen my wife cry. And I know I can. So she wasn't as emotional as a lot of other women. She didn't have to have that everyday interaction that I loved about it. We would make fun of people. If we were out at restaurants and you would see a couple come in and they would sit, next to each other on the same side in a booth while the other side stayed empty, we would just laugh our ass off of that. We thought, there's no way. If you sat that close to me, we would be miserable. We knew that, but we respected that. And that's what carried us. We had that. That was our energy. We enjoyed that. However, it wasn't until these last 3 years. It gives you a lot of time to dissect what went wrong, where it went wrong. That's a lot of time you just spend. 20 plus hours a day is a lot of time to spend in bed. And there's no way to turn your mind off. So I did a lot of thinking. And these are my thoughts. A lot of men that were raised by single women, right? When you get out from in the household and you get on your own and you're in the real world making your money, there's lessons in life that you need going forward as a man. There's things I didn't know, things I know now through trial and mistake, of course, that should have been done different. Like I said earlier, I believe that me being on drugs was a major contributor to me and my marriage failing. And don't get me wrong, it was. It really was. I hated myself, couldn't look myself in the mirror most days. most all the time I hated the person I was while I was addicted to pills. But having said that, it's just in these last 3 years that I've come to understand that that wasn't the only contributing factor, because in all honesty, even before my accident 3 years ago, before she had, dropped me off down here and we lost her home and she said she had enough, before that, it had been on the rocks and it had been in a bad place years before that. It just, like I said, it's not until now where I actually had to stop and think where I went wrong, what happened, what I could have done differently. Well, let's just put it out in the open. To my wife, I was repulsive to her. We were at the point in our relationship and marriage to where we would just pass each other, whether in the halls or in the kitchens, and we would rub shoulders and wouldn't say shit. And if you've ever been there, you know that's not a nice, comfortable place to be. We were there for months, years. That whole, well, you shouldn't go to bed fighting kind of thing. I can't tell you how many times I stayed the night on the couch just because I didn't want to be in the same room. The atmosphere was just so horrible that it was just, the tension between us, it was ridiculous. And it's not a good place to be in when you can't fix that and you don't know how to fix that. A lot of my wife's reactions, behaviors to me in our marriage was because of things that I was doing wrong. But I didn't have the knowledge at the time to know I was doing wrong. The drug part, yes, I know I was an addict. But like I said, that's only a small contributor in my opinion now. I had pushed her away long before that. I'd pushed her away with the struggle of dealing with that, how I didn't carry myself as a man. And let's just put it out there. If you're raised by a single woman and you don't have a father figure in your life, you're not really having an example set to go by. I thought it's okay to share your problems with your wife. It's okay if you're married and you're in a marriage, especially for the 20 plus years we were. It's natural for you to tell your wife what's wrong with you, and for you guys to put your heads together and try to find a solution or come up with a solution. I always thought the two heads were better than one. That made sense. I'll be an open book with her. She'll be an open book with me. Everything will be fine. Well, I wasn't taught any differently. I'm 46 years old now. It took me till I was 43 years old to realize some of these factors that went wrong. So I'd like to go over a couple of mistakes that I made that if you're a man and you're watching this video, maybe you won't make or you'll take to heart. And maybe I'm wrong in this newly found thinking, but I don't believe that's the case. Number one, why my wife was repulsed with me. I didn't realize there should be a distinguished role in your family. As a man, I didn't understand the role of being the man of the household. Not fully to the extent that I should have, right? And the world today is telling me, said earlier, be an open book. You share this with your wife and she wants to know this. That's the wrong answer. That's bullshit. All right, in my case, it proved to be wrong. Let's leave it at that. Maybe your case is a little different. My wife was repulsed with me because I was an addict. I traced it back all the way to our 4th year in marriage. That's when I acknowledged me being an addict for the first time, because I'd hit a wall and I didn't know how to get past that wall as a man. And I didn't want to live the way I was living every day. I couldn't understand why I couldn't beat that. My wife had my mother show up at my house. My mother tried to talk to me. I was hitting a wall. I didn't want to see nobody. Didn't want to hear anybody. I was hurting. I didn't have answers. And my mother got on the phone and called my father, who's not with me anymore. But I always remember what he said. He said like 2 sentences to me. When she makes this phone call, I've not seen my father in 5 or 6 years. He gets on the phone and says, your mother says you have a problem. You don't want to live anymore. So get in a car, drive your ass down here, and we'll take care of it. Or shut the fuck up, hang the phone up, and kill yourself. Those are your 2 options. And that was it. That was in the conversation. And that's what was said. Yeah, he saved my life that day. But thinking back to that conversation, that was his only response to that. I don't know if I was going down there because I was so fucking mad at that conversation that I wanted to tell him face to face what I thought of him. There was a certain presence that he held that I shut the fuck up, and I didn't say any of the things that I thought I was going to say. I didn't want those problems. That's what the father figure brings in the household. I said my wife was repulsed by me. She was repulsed by me because I had let her know I showed weakness in front of her that I was an addict. I didn't know how to fix it. I had to turn to somebody else to help me fix my problem. And I shared that problem with her, trying to figure out how to get through that. And despite what you think or what you say, on that day, maybe subconsciously she didn't realize it, but I guarantee you it was that day. For the simple fact that I had shown weakness. In that moment she knows, wow, He's on drugs. This is something he can't handle. He can't figure it out. It's now on me because I can't trust him with money. I can't trust him to run finances. I can't trust him to do, the trust is gone, period. But not only is the trust gone at that point, the admiration that she used to have for you is gone. Every man, whether we say it or not, wants to feel valued, wanted, seen, appreciated. That was a mistake I made. The trust left, the attraction left. I put her in a position that she never had asked to be in or wanted. And that was through those actions, in that little time through those actions, I had put her in charge of the household, in charge of the finances. She had now become the leader of the house instead of the man leading, and that started the resentment. And for good reason. And of course, attractiveness went out the window with it. Value went out the window with it. Respect, gone. Yeah. Her job was to love, support, sympathy, sure. Empathy, yes. No wife that I know of strives to be the mother of their husband. Your wife doesn't want to have to mother you and take your hand and walk you through these fucking situations. It's your job to fucking get through those. I would turn to her and that would show more weakness. In turn, turning her completely opposite way. It's not attractive. I'm sorry. But it's not attractive for a man to be weak. Weakness doesn't attract my wife. It repulses my wife. Maybe yours is different. I'm just saying these are some of the mistakes I made. I know now that I don't share that burden with anybody. It's not anybody else's burden but mine to figure that out. A woman was never really meant to shoulder the burdens of my demons or the chaos I have going on in my head and my heart. That wasn't for that woman. That wasn't a weight that she had to carry. That's a weight we have to carry. And we have to carry that by ourselves. And if you're stuck in a place you can't get out of, you don't have an answer for, there's nothing wrong as a man in asking for advice, some mentorship from other men, right? You're going to look at your man the same if I come to you and say, hey, I don't feel like I'm being valued in this marriage. I don't feel like you see me or you want me or you need me anymore in this relationship in life. That's what you want to hear from your significant other? And if you say yes, you're full of shit. If your wife knows, or every thought you have, every puzzle that you can't solve, every ounce of despair that troubles you, everything you think and feel should not be on display to her. A man's role and a woman's role is completely different. Females are born with value. Men create our value in order to become important. So a man's value is how we establish a foundation for our life moving forward. That's how we know where we're going to be placed in this world. And the moment a man feels devalued, the moment you lose value for a man, I don't know if that can be gotten back. I really don't. There is a time to share. The Bible says there's a time for everything. And I do believe that there is a time to share. It's just what you share and when you share it. I want you to know that as a man, that when you show your cards and everything is out on the table, you're an open book. Your story's no longer worth reading to that woman. Remember that. Guys, I'd like to thank you for coming, watching the video. I know there's a lot of other things you could be watching and doing right now, but you're here right now watching this, and I thank you for it. We'll see you next time.
Excuse me. I believe I asked you to put a chick in this and make her gay.
Yes, the chef was a little confused what you meant by that.
It means put a chick in the linguine and make her fucking gay!
I left my son. I left my son. Playing in the yard. Playing in the yard. See Daddy. Made him cry so hard. Made him cry so hard. Oh, we. Oh, we. Well, more. We join the army. We join the army.